Phoenix Rising by Michael Anastas. Brock kicked down the door and aimed his flashlight, the only one we could forge from the wreckage, into the empty dormitory. "Nobody's here," reported Brock. He tried the light switch, and the single bulb sparked once as its fuse burst. The other three edged their way in, aiming the only weapons they could find around the room for the fear that Brock was incorrect. "It looks like it hasn't been used in years," observed Misty. "It shouldn't have been used in years," said Darius. "The oil was drained from this refinery 20 years ago. There's really only two things that could be done with this place: tear it apart, or use it as a bomb testing site." Cassie walked past one of the beds and noticed a small open book sitting on the pillow, handwritten words from page to page. She hefted the book and thumbed to a single page. "From what I can see here, a bomb testing site would have been a safer move." "Huh?" Misty peered over Cassie's shoulder as she flipped back to the first page. "It's a diary," said Cassie. "A woman named Serene Johnson." She guided her finger across the words. "A scientist, the assistant of a man named Brendan Bible, who worked a secret project. Codename Remnant." "Sounds like a movie title," said Misty. "Why do I have the feeling this cannot be good?" Cassie flipped through the pages again. This time she read aloud. "Freeman has gone insane. He has yet to assure the creature that either one of us is its master. He seems to be more content in calling it his daughter. He is a madman indeed, and I must put an end to this. I have reported to Giovanni that the clone has been completed and is showing remarkable progress in her combat training. To tighten the bolt further, I have already told the creature that her master is coming. She will not tell the fool, for I have so stated that her master wishes her not to do so. Freeman will be back to normal soon enough, and the creature shall serve the purpose it was meant to. Though the deaths of Ash and the second Mew clone are both behind us, the new clone shall not go to waste. Perhaps giving it to Giovanni was a foolish mistake. With the clone in my power, I could have been the boss." Cassie turned the page, where she found a card key duct taped to the page. Below the strip of tape, she found a blood stain, in which the words were written, "I am a fool." "Looks like somebody died that night," Cassie observed as she pulled the tape away, freeing the key. "This has got to be important." Then the voice echoed through the hall. "Indeed, and I'll thank you to put it back." Merlin walked up to the table where the body parts were scattered. "Well, if Brendan and Sarangel are both minions of the wraiths, who is this?" He hefted a hand off the chair. On its finger was a ring inlet with a lazuli gem. "Someone from Cerulean City. That seems obvious." Ash loosened his collar. "Misty is from Cerulean City." Merlin set the hand back down on the table. "You think this is her? Come on now. The parts are all dried out. For this to be her, she would have had to die months ago." "Or they could be spare parts," said Andrew. "The man said that Sarangel was constructed piece by piece. Any idiot knows you should have spare parts in case something goes wrong with the originals." Lightning flashed against the window, and afterwards I heard a faint cry. I held up my index finger in a signal of silence. "Did you hear that?" The three of them turned to my gaze. "Hear what?" While they stood in awe, I took cautious steps towards the next door. It had been from there which I had heard the noise. I slowly turned the handle, and the door refused to open. Lightning flashed, and I heard a slight utterance like that of pain. My mind helped me to come to unlikely conclusions of what could have been happening, and in my haste, I stepped back and kicked at the door. The metal dented, and the utterance sounded again. "Michael, what are you doing?" I kicked at the door again, and this time the lock came undone. One last hammer, and the door swung open. Inside, the room was pitch black. "Hello?" I called. "Anyone there?" I stepped in and felt around in the darkness for the switch. "Whoever you are, I mean you no harm." I waited in the silence, and soon I could hear the breathing. At the same time, I found the switch and flipped it, and the light became blinding to my eyes, but only for a brief second. There, huddled in the corner, was a creature I had never seen. Her characteristics were sort of like that of Merlin's Mewtwo. She was twice the height of Merlin's, 9 feet and 4 inches to be exact. She remained in the corner, hands up against the wall. Her tail curved once around her abdomen where it met her right shoulder. As I approached, her eyes opened and focused upon me. This was Sare Angel, the daughter of Brendan Bible. To this day, I don't know whether to be thankful or cry over that day. "You were the one called Sare Angel?" I choked. Sare Angel slowly nodded, while I offered her a shaking hand. "It's okay," I stammered. "We're on your side." She backed up closer against the wall. "You can trust us. Don't worry." "No, please. If you want to stay out of this, then don't come near me." I didn't know what to say. "It's too late for us not to be in this. It's okay. You can trust me. I'm a friend." "You're a phoenix trainer," she choked. You cannot." Andrew entered and knocked against the open door. "Can I ask what—" His eyes fell upon Sare Angel. "Dear God!" Sare Angel stared deeply into my eyes, and I knew both of ours to be filled with fear. "You're afraid of me, aren't you?" I couldn't hide it. "Yes, I am afraid." "You know that I cannot act without one to command me. Are you afraid that my master shall storm through the open door?" "Yes, but that doesn't need to happen." I took out one of my spare Pokeballs. "You could come with us. You'd be well taken care of. I could take you to Freeman. It was Brendan's final request that you go to America in the first place." I cannot. Master would never allow it." Sare Angel was afraid of me. I never thought I'd know why she was. She was 4 feet taller than I was. Bigger, stronger, smarter, capable of crushing legions with her mind, and will probably outlive my children, should I ever have any. Yet she was afraid of me. She was practically trying to cower before me, but only succeeded in bringing herself down to my height. Without thinking of what could happen, I walked up to her and took one of her hands in mine. I could feel her shaking in fear as I gently pulled her to her feet. Of course, I didn't pull her up. She got up on her own. She now looked down upon me, and I strained to make eye contact with her. "Do you wish for this to come to an end?" I asked, almost afraid of the answer. I don't care about the world," she choked. "I just want my master to return back to his old self." "Then help us. Help us, and we'll help you." Off in the corner, I could hear Merlin whispering. "Michael," he whispered, "pray tell you know what you're doing." "They are called wraiths," uttered Sare Angel. I guess you already knew that. They come from the underworld. At least that's what they always tell us." Andrew slowly raised his hand, not because he was afraid, but because he didn't want to scare Sare Angel. "May I be so bold as to ask who was on the table?" Sare Angel turned her eyes to the parts. "That was... what was her name? I think it was Serene, Brendan's assistant. She turned me over to Giovanni. She said that he was my master." Merlin slowly got to his feet. "Sare Angel, you need not be afraid of us," he said quietly. "If anything, we should be afraid of you." "I'm not afraid of you," she stuttered. "I mean, I am afraid of you, but it's Brendan. He frightens me most of all." Merlin pulled his chair, cardboard box, closer to her. "Why is that?" he whispered. "Please, don't be afraid to tell us anything." Sare Angel was very hesitant. "He has predominance over me. I would be killed if he learned that I'm even speaking with you. But if it will help, I will tell you as much as I can." She took a deep breath. "My master has made a covenant with the wraiths. As long as I am under his power, he shall forever serve the wraiths. Should the pact ever be broken, he will die. Journey to the seventh hell, as they said, and I will be placed back in the possession of Giovanni." I pulled myself a little closer and lowered my voice. "Is there any way we can undo the covenant?" Sare Angel shook her head. "None." "But there's always a loophole, a way to bend the rules. There has to be something." "There is nothing. Even if I had free will, the wraiths would simply take it away." Merlin stood up so fast that Sare Angel nearly fell over in shock. "There's your answer," he said. "The wraiths. Without the wraiths, none of this would be happening." What are you saying?" Sare Angel stuttered. "If we kill the wraiths, then there will be no more covenant to keep. There is the solution." The expression in Sare Angel's eyes would have been the same had Merlin declared war on God himself. "It is impossible," said Sir Angel. "They are far more powerful than anyone can imagine." "They were killed the first time they appeared," said Merlin. "If Ragnarok could do it with pistols, I think me and my blade stand a fair chance." "But you don't understand," said Sir Angel. "These are the same wraiths that died so long ago. They're more powerful than ever." "Sir Angel!" The voice came from out of nowhere, and a lightning bolt shot down from the overhead light and struck the ground directly in the middle of the circle we had formed. Sir Angel backed away in fear, for her master now stood before her. "Sir Angel!" he shouted. "How dare you!" "Please!" Sir Angel begged. "I meant you no harm. I thought it was for the best." "What you thought does not concern me!" shouted Brendan. "You are not to do anything unless you are given the command." Sir Angel hid her face before uttering, "Yes, master." "Good. And now that everything has been cleared up, I give you your first command." He pointed at me. "Kill him." Before I had time to react, Sir Angel had struck. Ash, Andrew, and Merlin were disabled, and in the same flash, I found Sir Angel's hands around my throat. "Ha!" Brendan laughed. "Sir Angel, you may let him go." Her grasp faded away, and I fell to the floor. "Apologize, and this time you will have to kill him." He crossed his arms and smiled. "Why don't we play a little game instead? Merlin, your friends upstairs didn't even put up half the fight you did. Therefore, I welcome you to come to their rescue. They are somewhere you would have gone anyway. That is the only clue you shall receive. But be forewarned, my Pokemon will not wait for their meat to kill itself off." And then, in the same suddenness that we had fallen at Sir Angel's mercy, they disappeared.